Hi guys, and welcome to the Alchemy's Lair. In today's video, I wanted to talk about what I did to finally find the perfect painting media for me. I want to tell you guys that this is something that took me years, but I hope that by filming this video, I can help someone not to take so long to get there. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about this today, because I wish I would have seen a video like this when I was looking for the right media for myself. I am aware that there is a lot of people who like to try many different medias, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just not that kind of person because I get very overwhelmed when I try to use like different medias and stuff. I need to have something that I use consistently, you know? I will be talking about gouache, and it doesn't mean that gouache has to be your perfect media as well, but I want to tell you guys how I found out that gouache was the perfect media for me, so that you guys have an idea. And I also want to say that the things that I'll be sharing in this video are not written on stone, so you don't have to follow the exact same path that I followed, but just take whatever resonates with you, just bounce with the ideas, and if it works for you, fine. If not, just let it go. It actually took so many years for me to find the right media for myself. It wasn't something that happened overnight, so I'm not telling you that by watching this video you're gonna find out like all of a sudden what's the perfect media for you, but I'm gonna give you some tips and things that you can do and things that you can start to apply in order to finally find what's best for you. Like I said before, I know that there's a lot of people who like to use different medias, and that's perfectly fine, but I know that if you're watching this video it's because you are like me and you like to use just one media or two. Like, this is literally me. I most of the time only use gouache and colored pencils, but that's pretty much it. I completely forgot to talk about gouache. Gouache is a water-based paint that is very similar to watercolor and acrylics. My best explanation is as if watercolors and acrylics would have a baby. That's gouache. You know, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. That's the best explanation that I can give you guys. I don't know if that's the right one, but that's how I feel it. It's kind of like watercolor, but it's definitely more opaque, and it's definitely better than watercolors at reactivating. You can literally correct things and everything very quickly. That's one of the reasons why I love gouache, because it feels kind of like when you're painting on your iPad and you can do the Ctrl+Z and then just like erase your mistakes or whatever. And that's how I feel with gouache, because you can literally use like some water and erase something that you didn't like, or you can even like cover it up because it's very opaque, but you can still use another color on top of another color. So it's kind of crazy. I don't even know how to explain it, but I'll be putting videos. That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with gouache. It kind of feels like painting on Procreate, but in real life, you know? It just gives you a lot of ways to express yourself, and you're not as limited as with other medias. Another thing that I love about gouache is that it dries out very quickly, so you don't have to wait for like hours or like 20 minutes or something for them to dry out. So that's just beautiful. To me, as a person that works a full-time job at the same time, it really is very helpful because I can literally finish a painting in one day, just in like 2 or 3 hours, because I don't have to be waiting for it to dry out, and that's just awesome. As you guys can see, I'm kind of like impatient, but it's just because I have kind of like some limited time due to my full-time job, and that's why I love practical things. And that's what I think about gouache, that it's a very practical media. I would highly suggest to beginners, like I said before. It just feels very smooth. Honestly, I don't have as much time as I used to have it when I was a kid, you know? So I had time to experience a lot of things and stuff, and that's because I work a 9 to 5. So I'm an artist, but at the same time I work a full-time job. And that's the first thing that I want to tell you guys. You have to try many different medias before you actually find the one. I know that there might be some people that are able to find their perfect media since like the first thing that they use, and they're like, if they use color pencils, they're like, oh, I love color pencils, I'll keep using color pencils forever. But there's other people like me that have to go through so many medias before actually finding what works best for them. So that's what I recommend. I literally tried watercolors, I tried gouache, I tried color pencils, I tried painting on my iPad, I tried so many things that I can even remember before I realized that gouache was what actually worked better for me. If I'm able to find them, I'll show you like some of my drawings and paintings that I did with other medias. I'm sure they suck a little bit. I'm sure they're awful because they're old and things like that, but I want to show you like part of my journey because that's the reason for this video as well, right? If you're the type of artist that I am as well, you'll know that and you'll understand that some medias just feel right and some just feel awful. I know that this is kind of like controversial because there's gonna be like some people saying, oh, if you're an artist, you can use whatever and you can use whatever materials and stuff, but I'm just not that kind of person, and I still consider myself someone who loves art. Oh, and I don't care what other people think, to be honest. But if you are the same person as me, you'll know that some materials just feel good, some others just feel bad. Like for example, with me, I still use color pencils for my gouache paintings, but just like for some details and stuff, not really for the whole thing. And that is because color pencils kind of like stress me out, and I don't know why. I think this was actually created because when I was a kid and I used to go to school, they would force you to use the color pencils to paint things that you don't want to paint and stuff, because that's pretty much what they use at school, right? Or at least in my school. So I think that's why I started hating colored pencils since I was a child, and I just don't feel very comfortable painting with colored pencils. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to make friends with them in the future because they're actually pretty nice and they can give you awesome results as well. But for now, I just like to keep them for some details, you know? And this is of course not trying to offend anyone who likes color pencils. If you like color pencils, you have my respect. But literally in this journey, you just have to trust your gut, you know what I mean? For example, I'm gonna tell you guys the way that I got my gouache paintings. I used to see like pictures on Instagram and stuff of people posting paintings that were made with gouache and everything. I was like, oh, that looks so pretty. But when you don't have a style, when you don't have something defined, you think everything is pretty, you know? That's what happened to me with gouache. So I didn't really like pay attention to it until it was last year. That's crazy. So I really hated painting until last year. I used to do it most of the time only on my digital paintings, but it was like the worst part of the drawing because I love drawing, but then for painting it was like, oh dude, I don't want to do this. Now that I found out about gouache, I literally love painting more than drawing, and that's kind of crazy because it used to be the opposite before. The way that I found out, it was because I think I saw post from a girl on TikTok or Instagram. I just can't remember, but it was a very like beautiful drawing, and it was like, oh my god, what did she use for this? I still can't remember. If I'm able to remember it later, I'll just put it on here or somewhere if I remember who the artist was. And it was like, dude, I want to be able to do things like that. It just worked like magic, you know? Then I saw that she was using the Himi gouache paintings, and that's the one that I got from Amazon. At first I got, let me show you guys. Alright, so these are my Himi gouache paintings. At first I got the cubes one, like the jelly ones, and these are amazing. I love them. I'm not gonna open it up because they really are very dirty. I haven't used them since like 2 months ago, and that is because I actually got the tube version of Himi gouache instead that they just posted on Amazon. They are incredible. If you guys are fans of Himi gouache, I highly recommend that you guys use the tube version because it's gonna give you less of a hassle because you won't have to worry about them drying out and like getting some mold and stuff. So I really love the tube version of Himi. I still think that these ones are very pretty, but I definitely love the other ones better. They've made my life way easier, to be honest. Okay, so coming back to the topic, this is not sponsored by Himi. I don't know why, but I just love Himi. That's why I'm talking about it. Himi is actually the only brand that I've used, and I think it's good enough for beginners and even like intermediate painters and everything. So you should be fine. If you want to give it a chance, I highly recommend Himi, and this is not sponsored, like I said. But yeah, you have to trust your gut feeling as well, because that's what I did. Since the first time I used it, I was like, oh, this is the right media for me. Yeah, because I remember when I used alcohol markers, when I used other things, I just felt like it wasn't for me. It doesn't mean that I'll never use them. I will probably give them another chance in the future. But for now, like I said before, I have very limited time, so I like to use something that makes me feel comfortable and that allows me to focus on the painting and on the actual art instead of worrying about the actual paint, you know what I mean? Because that's what I felt with other medias. They just made it hard for me to paint something. Instead of like making my process easier, they would just like stress me out even more. And that's, I don't know. And the reason why I'm mentioning the other materials like alcohol markers and everything, it's not because I'm saying they're bad. If you love them, that's perfectly fine if they feel right for you. I respect that. Every single person is different and you are allowed to like whatever you want. You don't have to be like, oh, just because he said that I have to do that. No, of course not. If colored pencils feel right for you, if alcohol markers feel right for you, just go ahead and use them. Alright, so I don't know if in the future or in some years, I'm gonna end up using another media that feels better than gouache. I don't think so, to be honest with you guys. I think I'll love gouache forever for the rest of my life. However, yes, I will definitely be trying other medias in the future. For instance, I'm very interested in painting with oil and stuff, but for now, gouache just feels great to me. And I just feel very happy to be filming this video because I really struggled, and to be filming this video right now feels like it makes me very proud, you know, because I really had a hard time trying to find the right one for me. And I hope it actually helped you somehow and it gave you like some idea of how you can find the perfect media for yourself and what actually feels comfortable to you. If you found this video interesting, please leave your like and subscribe. And if you have a friend or someone you know that's also struggling with this, I would recommend to share this video with them so that they can also take advantage of this. I hope you have a great day and thank you for watching.